When somebody comes to you with a need of a loan facility and they already have a fixed deposit, you try and encourage them, place these savings to your Sacco deposit, which is non-withdrawable, so that you can be able to access these loan facilities. Each client is different in terms of the needs they have. So as clients come to you with their different needs, we tend to analyze each need with a specific area of interest. We have clients who specifically want to do a bit of construction. So we do encourage them to do a financial plan. This is an education platform whereby we teach our members, you have this project that is coming up, let's say in 6 months, for example. What are you going to do now so that at the time when you want that facility, for example, you're able to take that facility and it's within policy. Let's say you want 20 million, for example, and right now you have like 500,000. I see you're giving 3 times your savings. When you want, for example, let's say 20 million, a third of it, and you're not able to meet their third now. So we can encourage you, be placing, for example, 200,000 in your savings per month on a monthly basis. So that at the time of the 6th month, when you want a facility, for example, you're able to take that facility and within policy. There are various challenges we've experienced before with our clients, for example. There's a time when the banks were giving loans at either 27 or 18%, and ours was at 12%. You find that most of our clients go to the bank, take money from the bank, bring in that 3 million from the bank, and they want 3 times immediately. Such kind of financial destabilization of the institution makes the institution try to struggle to actually advance that facility. The first point of any Sacco institution is to encourage clients to save. Mobilization of savings actually ensures that at the time of that, when the member has that loan need, they are able to actually meet that loan need. So we've classified our clients based on an age set. Each age set has a different need. There are those who are between 27 to 45, for example. These are people who need housing. Most of their need is to find a well-established place where I can actually construct a house. My family can live in a very secured place that is within. Most of our clients, doctors, they want to live in Karen, for example. How do you establish that their dream in living in Karen is actually fulfilled? Encourage them to save. Encourage them to save, and also look at, for example, we have one client who bought one piece of property in Mombasa Road. We advanced a facility for a construction in that piece of land. The amount of money, for example, hypothetically, I'll just use hypothetical because I don't want to use the client name. We advanced a loan of like 15 million. This person went and did an established property there. Then he got another adjacent property just there. You come in with another product now whereby you're using this collateral that the client has already established to advance this other collateral. That is how you build the investment for this client from one place to another. Because this property that has already been established is a rental property, for example. It earns like 600,000 per month. The monthly repayment for this other loan, you'll find it's way less than the 600,000 per month. So this client, once these 2 properties are all done, you'll find that they're generating like 1.2 million in a month. If you have 1.2 million in a month, how long is it going to take you to clear a loan of 20 million, for example? A very short duration of time. So we, as a Sacco movement, the first point of us is encourage your clients to save and look at you as a way of actually getting financing at a lower cost interest. Redesign your Sacco products. Make it favorable to your specific niche. For example, this year we had to approach the regulator to redesign specific products for us because we found out that we have a clientele which needs a higher pool of money. We have enough funds to give out, but their savings is limited to how much they need. So we approached the regulator to change our product, the core product. You have a development loan, you're giving 3 times. Our core product development loan, we are giving it at 4 times. You see, if you have 4 million, if you have 1 million, you can access 4 million. In the past, if you had 1 million, you access 3 million. This gives you a pool of enough money for you to meet the specific need. Also, we have another product we call a flexi loan, where we give 5 times. If somebody gives you 5 times your savings, you'll be able to meet your specific need. And the interest rate are favorable compared to what you give in the market. The development loan is at 12%, and it's on reducing balance. If you take a loan with the Sacco and you take a loan with the bank, you'll get the difference of how much the bank one is frustrating than the one for the Sacco. Because the Sacco, this is your institution. When you have a challenge in terms of payment for the loan, you approach an institution. That's the basis of a Sacco. I have this challenge. How best can you help me address this challenge? The Sacco will actually listen to you. We do have members who have challenges like us. We've been affected with the members who've been working for UN. There are members who've, with the Trump issue, we've had people being affected in terms of their payment. That's where now we come in, we try and give you a moratorium, for example. We give you, let's say, 3 months until you try and see how best you can reorganize your finances so that at least you're able to meet this liability of yours. That's the basis of a Sacco. A Sacco is there to actually assist you when you need it and also try to move you from this point to this point. If you go take a loan at the bank, at the end of the year, you don't get any returns back. You see, a Sacco, you invest your savings. When you invest your savings, at the end of the year, the Sacco has worked with your savings and it's returning dividends and interest to you. When you put your money in the bank, there are the other people who are investors in that bank that earn interest on the savings that you've put. So it's important for you to trust in the process of your Sacco and also come up with various ideas on how to better your Sacco. Most institutions are failing because of politics, and bad politics spoils a very good institution. We don't say that there are no politics everywhere. Even KMA, we do have politics. But how you manage the institutional politics transforms the institution operations. The systems that you've established as an institution, the policies that you establish as an institution ensures that the institutions remain stronger, and it ensures that members' funds are clearly secured. KMA Sacco, we started back in 1998. It started just from a few doctors who are at KMA. These few doctors were members of AAK Sacco. They were not getting the, as a specific niche, you want that association, you understand? You don't want to associate with everyone. AAK Sacco admits doctors, pharmacists, dentists, any person working in the clinical, nurses, clinicians, everyone. Now, doctors wanted a Sacco of their own, where they have control and they explain everything. So that's why it started with a few people, and now we've built up to almost, we are reaching 8,000 members. So our specific niche, basically, you find that the management and the board itself is doctors. Now, when they're looking at the needs of the specific niche, they operate at a specific level. So institution is good to protect your niche. As you protect your niche, you understand each other specifically in terms of the specific niche. KMA is big. We have KMA Housing, we have other institutions, KMA bodies that operate. As a Sacco, we also want to do some bit of investment. That's why we have various subsidiaries that enable us to do that investment in land and actually ensure that our members have pieces of land that where they can construct their homes. That is how we operate. We also have an insurance department. As a specific niche and as professionals, we work with insurance. We can't work in this country without professional indemnity, for example. Even you architects, I think you need professional indemnity for you to operate. Now, this professional indemnity, where do you get your professional indemnity right now? You are the one yourself going to the insurance to ask for the professional indemnity. There's somebody else in the insurance department who is earning income from the money that you're paying there in terms of PI. So this income that you're paying, it can come back to the institution. Look at a way in which you can form an agency, for example. It's not difficult to form an agency. Form an agency whereby every person in your field, for example, approaches you to get the PI. Come and negotiate with these insurance companies. Insurance companies can actually give you discount if you come as a group, for example. At the end of the year, the income that that institution gets is the income that you'll get in terms of your dividends. You see that now you're going to increase the income that you get. And also, you're going to encourage more members to come. If somebody knows that when I come to, as an architect, if I need PI, I'll come to my Sacco and get the PI. See, they will even bring their cars. You insure their cars. Most of you drive cars. There's nobody here who does not drive car. If you don't, God will give you one. So those cars that you drive, they have insurance, and most of them, maybe they are not third-party insurance, they are comprehensive. So when you have an insurance company yourself as an institution, people will always, it is a driving measure for that institution to get more members. That is one way. As professionals, apart from getting loans, we have money where we can invest. We have various channels for investment where we get a lot of return. Like us, for example, we encourage our members to bring in money, and through us, they invest in money market. We've partnered with various money market firms that give us interest on any investment that our client gives. For example, if you come to me and you tell me I want to open a money market at Sanlam, for example, that form, once I submit it, I am your agent at Sanlam. I will get some portion of money as administrative cost from Sanlam for bringing in that business. That's why I'm saying the insurance company has a lot of pull for you to actually advance further and also encourage your members to save. Don't place money in the bank. Bank gives you very little interest. When you put money in money market, there are various money markets that give you a lot of interest. So invest in that, even in bonds. Through the institution, you can actually do money investment in bonds. So have various investment strategies that transform the lives of your specific niche. And when you encourage your members to always approach you on any need, I've found that work in my institution. And as a finance person, what I encourage people most of the time is, don't just wake up. A construction does not begin with, I slept at night, I woke up, I want to construct. It doesn't start like that. It's a dream. Most of you have said you are dreaming to do something. This dream of yours, how do you actualize it? One, make a financial plan. Understand that this is the construction that I need. This is the amount of money that I need. Approach various institutions, like we do approach you people, for example, just to understand how much will it cost me to do this construction. You understand? So you do for me a specific plan whereby I understand that I will need 15 million, for example, to complete my project. Once that plan has come, then we discuss. It's a proper discussion. As a finance person, I encourage somebody, let's do a financial planning for 6 months. That's the minimum that we can actually do a lot together, so that we don't find specific bottlenecks at the time of application process. That makes your application process very smooth without any hitch. And within a very short duration of time, I'm able to give you the money and you fulfill your dream. When we give you money, it's important for you to finish that project quickly. Don't delay on it. When you delay on something and you already have money, that is income that is lost. Once you've gotten a plan and you've already gotten the financing, try and finish it quickly so that whatever happens after that, you try and ensure the loans you're clearing faster and relieving yourself from the burden. We hope to partner with you on various aspects. Like right now, you can send some of you to come and learn how we do our insurance, for example. How do we approach insurance companies to design our specific insurance need? You all need medical insurance to operate this business. So you can bring in, for example, a pool of members to learn that how we operate the insurance department, for example, and the medical insurance on how we deal with it. So through that, you will now start incorporating it in your institution. And once you incorporate it, you'll see the difference. You'll even be much better than how we are. We are really grateful for the opportunity you've granted to us to come speak to you. And we also hope to learn a lot from you. There's a lot we can partner together. As an institution, we are looking at ways to actually do a construction loan. And that's where you come in as an institution-specific niche in that area. Those are areas we can partner and see how best we change the lives. The Sacco movement is basically we change the lives of the people we are dealing with. Kenya, we are able to change the lives of the people we are dealing with so that at least we transform each one's life from where they were before to a better life. I hope that we hope to work together and we hope to learn from each other so that at least we are able to meet the specific need for the clients that we serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Esther. A round of applause, please. Thank you. And now we welcome our next keynote speaker, who is Patrick from LSK. And yes, let's hear from the lawyers. From the medics, what I've learned is you have to make your savings work for you. You have to start and you have to make a plan, no matter how small it is. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I've just requested to speak while sitting. I have an injury on my leg, and I may not stand for long. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Patrick Muthomi from LSK Sacco. I'm happy to be here with you today, AAK members, and it's a pleasure. I will speak briefly about the background of LSK Sacco, which was started way back early enough in 1986 in terms of registration, but it was not as vibrant until about 2006. It's when my Sacco started realizing the potential they were not utilizing. So myself, I joined the Sacco in 2016, and I came specifically to inspire marketing in terms of the thoughts that the society had. They wanted to tap into a lot of dormant members. Right now, our membership is about 12,000. We have been growing membership, but the greatest objective that we have had is to grow active membership. And why are we so much concerned about active membership? Our Sacco is a non-check-off Sacco. Non-check-off means we don't draw remittances from specific employers or from specific sources. We attract remittances from members. And by attracting, it means that we have to inspire the members to save and to do it intelligently, consistently every month through avenues that we have to innovate. And when I came, we started a program we call Customer Relationship Program. The life of an advocate is quite diverse. We have advocates spread all over the country. Their geographical practice, area of practice is different, is diverse. We have some advocates who are doing very well, and others are not doing very well because of even the geographical area where they are situated at, or also the area of practice they chose to undertake. So we have also segmented our members. We have the young advocates, and we have the seniors. If you have listened about the advocates who attend court, they like referring to each other in terms of seniority and such. So we also recognize that in our circle because we have members who have good potential and others we need to think how to grow them financially. So when we start these products, our products, we recognize that. And when we started this program that we call Customer Relationship Program, is to enhance KYC. We asked ourselves, why are our members dormant? You realize members are dormant because they are not getting information, or they are getting information but not sufficient information, and they are not feeling in touch with the circle. So we crafted regions, virtual regions, about 13 of them, to be able to reach our members efficiently. And these regions, we came up with a system, just the usual navigation system that is known to operate in circles, but we customize it intensely such that it's able to segment our members in terms of regions, and we allocate a customer relationship officer in each of the region, and we make sure that these channels of communication, including WhatsApp, social media marketing, is a bit vibrant, and we make sure that the members, in their statement, they're able to associate with that particular customer relationship officer, such that the center of the member, in terms of their needs to the circle, is this person that we have allocated to them, and we monitor their work. So we have also enhanced something we call self-care. That is web portal. So if a member falls dormant, there's an alert that is sent to the member automatically. And if they open that web portal, as they access their account, they're able to see their account status. So if I open my account today and I was active, it will show green. If I open tomorrow and I've fallen dormant, it will show red. So I will know that I've fallen dormant and I will query why. And also, apart from that, there is an SMS that will tell you you have come dormant. So we continue to think through, because advocates are also busy. You have to make sure that your message is catchy. You have to time when you communicate to them. In the mornings, they're in court, they're hustling. All of us are hustling. So you have to find the right language to talk to them, and also you have to make sure you also, and the customer relationship officer of that particular region, also make sure that they know which other forums they are. We have many fashions for advocates. We have some who are in conveyancing, and they have their own WhatsApp group. So the person who is our customer relationship officer for that particular region, he or she has to be very innovative and learn which groups our members, our potential members in, so that they can be able to sell the circle message. As also we undertake marketing, we have to come up with innovative products. One of the products that we thought of, and it aligns with our niche of our members, we started thinking about how we entice the young lawyers. So we thought about offering a loan for practicing certificate, something as simple as something worth 30,000. So we go to admission of new advocates, and we tell you, if you join the circle today, we are going to give you a funding for practicing certificate, disperse it directly to LSK, and task LSK to help us to collect. So we partner with LSK, so that person will have a lot of patronage to the circle, because the circle has helped them get the first tool of their work. The other innovation that we are thinking of, and we note with the young lawyers, they are very impatient, all Gen Zs. And the concept of the circle, when you join, you have to wait for 6 months for you to access a loan product. So we thought about Karibu loan, a loan that welcomes a new member to join the Sacco. That is actually something that we have petitioned to the regulator to be able to approve for us so that we can be able to give the young lawyers this product. Then as we undertake our KYC, we ask ourselves, what does customer experience think about? What does a member who is satisfied want? We think about our members. First is the issue of when they apply for a loan, how is your TAT? So we may not have technology that is disbursing loans, but as we also give our loans, especially the emergency loans, we try to improve our TAT such that the loan that if a member applies today, we make sure that we are able to disburse the loan today or a latest tomorrow. If at it's manual, we are still working on technology so that we can be able to disburse through the systems. The other thing we have done is liquidity. We also mobilize a lot of deposits in our campaign for dormancy activation. When I joined the Sacco about 10 years ago, our dormant levels were about 40%, quite low. Right now, we are talking about 70%. And as I also mentioned about the nature of our members, you find there are some members, when you understand your members, there are members who save with you for purposes of getting loans, and there are others who also save for purposes of investments. So you have members who have a lot of savings with you, but they never borrow. They will never borrow with you. Their interest is what you give us, the annual returns. So as a Sacco, you must think deeply and ask yourself, as we also take care of the appetite of members who want to get loans, what is the balance do we strike between the members who are investing to earn dividends or interest on deposit vis-a-vis the members who are borrowing? How do we give the affordable loans in terms of your interest rate as well as the return of the year so that that margin is not wide and everybody is satisfied? So our loans, all of them, they are at 12% on a reducing balance. We have also retained high returns on deposit, but also attracted a lot of members with very heavy deposits who necessarily don't borrow. And you can attract a member who can save up to 50 million as the saver. So you find others are dormant, they don't have much, but the moment they become active, they want to borrow, and you can find a member who can borrow from, in a span of 5 years, they can take up to 5 loans or 10, depending on the way they are growing. You have motivated them to grow, and they were dormant. So that's the area that we are working on. Then we realized that for advocates, their monies are seasonal. Maybe we can resonate with you, some of you, because you find that advocates, most of them, they are not in formal employment. So like our Sacco, 90% are non-check-off. So we only attract 10% from check-off. So what we have done, we make sure also our loan repayment is flexible to the extent that the highest loan repayment period, we are pushing to 14 years for the maximum loan. So what we do, we accommodate people paying in installment. You can find, and falling in arrears up to a maximum of 3 months. So you can find people overpaying, that a member comes and pays even 5 installments. And you stand your member. You said your KYC, you have to be very good. Because at the point of, if you really enforce recovery so much, you'll also kill a member who is going to give you a lot of business in the future. So you balance. And this balancing is very, very, you have to undertake it in a way that members understand your trends. And when you mean serious, you mean serious. Like this end of the year, because you want to close the year with good books, you have to make sure you educate your members very well so that they pay the loans. And at the end of the year, you see that your PAR, what are the levels? What can you accommodate? We have never closed the year with a PAR of more than 3%, despite us doing that accommodation. So you have to educate your members, know there are seasons that they don't have business. For example, the beginning of the year. advocates don't have a lot of business. But come March, they peak, they start paying. June, July, they have a lot of liquidity. Attract it. Make sure that you have a lot of funds. Grow your liquidity, look for money market sources, like my colleague said, so that you invest your money as well. Also, market a lot on loans so that you don't have a lot of liquidity that, because of liability. You have taken so much, you have to give a return at the end of the year. So those are the strategies we undertake. Then the other experience I will share is the issue of welfare, members' welfare. So you find that there are a lot of risks with our membership. One being the risk of death, the risk of permanent disability, critical illness. How have you negotiated your loan policy or your loan card or benevolent cover for your members? So in our Sacco, we have made sure that we have good negotiation with our insurance, such that if this member passes on, these, in terms of last expense, it's paid within 2 days to the family. In terms of benevolent cover for the deposit, we have a cover that pays an equivalent of what the member had saved. If a member had saved 20 million with you, the family is given another 20 million. So that attracts a lot of members to save more. And how we calculate our premium, we have done it in a way that it doesn't oppress the high savers. So we have proportionately placed, we have factored the premium. They pay some factor in a proportionate way. The other factor is flat, such that we don't burden the high savers and we attract them to save with us, being that in the event of any risk of maybe permanent disability or death, the insurer will pay an equivalent amount. For critical illnesses, it applies only to members with loans, and this has helped us to recover a lot because, like you all recall, the time of COVID, SACCOs had a lot of challenges in terms of recovery, and it helped us to also, as members who are reported to be sick, and they had loans, their loans are not in default. They are covered by the critical illness, which will pay a maximum of up to 1 million if you report it and there is good documentation. So we had a lot of cases and it helped us to not to get exposed by the COVID situation. The other thing is the system. You really need to have a good system. Continue learning about how to customize, continue learning about how you can integrate your systems with various systems, like I've talked about the web portal, such that there is a lot of mirroring in terms of what you want the member to see, what you are doing in the office, and what the member wants to see. And also you make sure there's a lot of content sharing with the members in these forums, especially, you know, advocates like debate. So you bring content of debate, and it has to be, when you are doing your member education, you don't finish it there. You finish the session like we have today. Tomorrow, trigger another issue that you discussed. So you continue to grow the decision. You find somebody who did not say something today. Tomorrow they are saying they are bringing 500,000 to the circle. So that's how you continue to engage your members. The other thing is you make sure you adopt like the meetings, webinars. We rarely have physical meetings, but the online ones, the webinars, even AGMs, members have them, they prefer now the online ones. And we realized this when we learned from the LSK. They trimmed down the physical meetings, the CPDs. They don't do the physical ones. So we also adopted the same. And since now it is practiced there, they also find it okay. They don't compare with what other circles do because they think this is their way of life. So that helps us to cut cost. Yeah. For member education, if you are to hold a member education for, say, 600 members, you can't spend less than $1 million, isn't it? So you do a webinar and you find yourself spending less than 40,000 because maybe you've got a trainer who is a volunteer, or even if you pay the trainer because the timing is 1 hour, you pay them like 20,000, that 1,000, and you cut on cost. So those are the kind of ideas we have started to grow. The other thing is I would say about diversification of products, as I mentioned. We have also savings products for children and for holiday for advocates. And we have also, in terms of common board, we continue to encourage advocates to join with their employees, such that if you get a senior advocate, behind them there's a chain of another 3 or 4 advocates they are mentoring, who are their juniors, and also they have their employees who are clerks and secretaries. So that's a kind of growth we kind of encourage, because if you can get an active advocate, he becomes a champion for the Sacco because of the kind of network he has. So that's a model we use to grow members and also to encourage those who are dormant, because there's a senior member who will say, I don't want you in my law firm if you are dormant in the Sacco, because you'll be asking me for 10,000 every day. So go ask the Sacco. So they encourage them to come and continue to save. The other thing is, as I finish, when we have these, LSK has these meetings, we make sure we negotiate our space so that your members, I know you are within AAK and other associates, you have, where you hear there is a forum that is organized by advocates, you make sure you organize your space so that you are there, you are present. If they have a big event, you are present, you are partnering. Of course, you do a lot of marketing and partnering, but you also make sure they find it as a Sacco as part of their professional growth. So that a topic on financial literacy is always, even if it's 1 minute, is given a space so that you continue sending the message to your members. And I think with in terms of the overall or the global growth from 2016, we've grown almost 5 times where we are now. We're almost approaching 5B. And it's because of those kind of disruptions that we have done to disrupt what was happening before and continue disrupting it every day, so that maybe in the next 5 years, we also disrupt what is happening today, because we find it's not working, because every day there is a change. And as we note with the Gen Zs, changes will always be there. We don't know what alpha and beta will bring, and that's the nature of the business. So thank you so much for inviting us, and we really appreciate partnering and working together in the future as partner circles. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Now we'll go to the next session, which is our panel session. And I'd like to welcome our panelists to come up here and to help us unpack the title for today, which is, which is, the Sacco as a financial leverage for the built environment professional. So first of all, please come up here again, Esther. So Esther, for those who are coming right now, Esther is the group head of Recoveries and has been the acting group chief executive officer of KMA, which is a Sacco that is within the doctors, medics, nurses, And then we have the next panelist is our president from WIRE, which is QS Rachel Patience Mulondo. She's also a registered quantity surveyor and director at Amazon Consultants Limited. And the next panelist we have is our chairperson of AAK. I think he'll be joining us shortly. And then our vice chair, Architect Frederick Ndichu, who is also a member. He's an independent architecture and planning professional, registered at the Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors, and also a corporate member of AAK. And he holds, thank you. Who else? Diana, Karibu, join us here. So we have Diana, who is an accomplished interior designer with a strong foundation from the Nairobi Institute of Technology, with extensive experience in joinery, furniture design, furnishing, and holistic interior architecture, building a reputation of transforming spaces. Chair, Join us, tafadhali. Thank you so much. So, without further ado, we've talked and unpacked a lot of things coming from the LSK and the KMA keynotes. So first of all, I'd like us to go around and all of you here, you lead and represent successful SACCOs, professionals, your own personal practices. So in 90 seconds, can you explain to us one moment where you found, or one moment that made you realize that a Sacco is really beneficial and is changing lives in your profession? We'll start with your Patience.
Good evening, everyone. I used a Sacco to do my first land investment. That was like 10 years ago. And my mom pushed me to do that. And at least now I have an asset to my name. I also used it to get a car that was financed by the office and by the Sacco. So when you compare the rates I got from the Sacco to the rates that are usually given by land companies when they partner with banks, even for the car, if you compare the rate I would have got for a loan for the car, seeing as I'm not in the financial sector, I'd have paid a lot more in interest compared to what I paid with the Sacco. It was also easier for me to repay it over the 5-year period I was given. So there was no stress on my income. I was able, I had to adjust a bit, but it did not cause me a lot of stress. So I believe the processes and the interest that was charged were very fair compared to if I had gone to another financial institution like a bank. And also the process of getting the loan. I've never applied for a loan from the bank, but I've had a few stories of the back and forth that people go through, both men and women. There are a lot of checks and balances, and sometimes they don't make sense because when they come to you to offer those opportunities, they push until when you sign up and then they start telling you, you must have this, bring 30% up front, do this and that. The Sacco doesn't have that. And they give you up to 5 times if you had someone, 3, is it 3 or 5? If you had someone to guarantee you. So the terms and conditions were definitely better.
Personally, Sacco has helped me grow as an individual. One, in terms of how I look at my investments. In terms, I own 3 properties courtesy of the Sacco. I have invested in money market and I've seen the benefits of the money market investment. As an employee of KMA Sacco, I've seen the Sacco transform lives. Just recently, I had a client who came to my office at 2 p.m. on a Friday. They need money to pay for a certification course, and the deadline was at the end of the day. I had a meeting with the finance and admin that very day. I asked myself, why did this client come, let's say, in the morning or or earlier on, so that at least I have that ample process to actually meet the need of the client. I put my best foot forward because that is my duty to ensure that the client is satisfied. I allowed the client to apply. I actually stood in front of every person who was processing that process to ensure they do it very quickly. And before the meeting started, we have an online bank platform that helps us actually disburse the loans very fast. So that was uploaded on the online banking platform. And before the meeting actually started, because I was dealing with signatories in that meeting, I actually told them I'm not going to start the meeting before you approve this. And you see, I actually transformed the life of this particular member. This member is a selling point to the institution because I was able to meet the need of this client before the deadline. So Sacco has transformed life in a various capacity. I have clients who will actually tell me, Esther, I'm not going to take a loan at the bank. Whenever I need a loan, I'm a phone call away. You know, I only know you, Esther, I will call you. Please assist me to process this. Because they have entrusted me to the process, I will actually process it very quickly, and they appreciate. If somebody has, for example, a piece of land they want to sell and they want me to assist them, I have another client who approaches me and tells me, Esther, do you have somebody who is selling land, this and this place who you can connect me with? I will actually connect. It's not the land of the Sacco, but I'm able to meet the need and transform the life of the individual. Medical, for example, it's a medical need that everybody needs. Don't ever assume that just because you're healthy now, you'll not be unhealthy tomorrow. We encourage everybody, take a medical insurance. You never know the need when it arises. That need, when it comes, it's going to be very helpful to you. Right now, most of you are on various WhatsApp groups that you keep contributing money for deceased members. At least on a monthly basis, I can say I contribute a lot of money in terms of just assisting somebody who has passed on. We have last insurance benefits cover that are very cheap. When somebody dies, for example, they give you 400,000. If they give you 400,000, 400,000 is sufficient enough for you to actually complete the major processes that are needed for that process. As an institution, we keep encouraging our clients, let's transform our lives. I can only transform your life when you tell me your need and have a plan for your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I would also say personally I've experienced how Sacco can lift somebody's life. I've grown as a child of a cooperator, somebody who also was a farmer and a cooperative society official. So I was also always asking myself, why is my father so passionate about cooperatives? Until I tested it myself. And out of that orientation, I can say the Sacco has made me grow. I have some properties courtesy of the Sacco. But in my own experience now as a person who works with the Sacco, I would say the most inspiring thing that I have noted is our members. Way back in 2019, we had a member who was almost being auctioned by the bank because he earned a loan that was, say, remaining actually like 2 million. And the property that he enchanged with the bank was about 25 million. So he was not able to service that loan, the balance that was remaining of about 2 million. And in our Sacco, he earned something like around 400,000. So we went to visit the member and found he was really in distress and he was really, he's shown us the vehicle. He told that the vehicle you have seen there is for the auctioneers. They were coming for me. And I can't imagine my property being auctioned because of this balance. So the member had been dormant, and we did education. We sat down, we took tea, we calculated with the member and asked him, can you get another 200,000 so that it makes it 600? And the loan was, the balance, the savings at the Sacco was about 400, that's something. So we asked the member, can you get to make it 600? That's something so that it can give you 3 times and we give you 2 million. You clear the loan there and discharge the property. You come, we discharge it here. So we looked for temporary guarantors. It was something you did it like you were helping your brother. You look for people who are clean and ask the member, can you approach these people to guarantee you? And you can see the potential of that member. It's more than the 2 million, only that the situation was not good. So we released the property. The member is very happy, brings another big property and says, now charge this to the maximum. I will show you what I will do for this Sacco. So the member joins the Sacco, you've charged a property almost 40 million. And you know, with the issuance of loan, there is what we call continuing charge. So the member comes, he takes a loan of 3 million. He tells you, watch how will pay this loan. And he pays, he builds his deposits, he takes another loan of 6 million with the same property. Because you have done good education, he didn't know the potential of the Sacco. So right now, as we speak, that member is among our highest savers and our highest borrower, and he has never defaulted. And every time he gives testimony about the Sacco, you feel like it has touched him, like I'm just saying it secondarily. So that's one of the things that I've noted, that members out there, don't have information about the Sacco. Like most of the people don't have information about money market, and they have resources, but they are investing their resources, or they are placing their resources in the wrong avenues where the exposure and the risk is very high. So let us enhance education, because even our members, the dormant members I was talking about, all of them, when you talk to them and you activate them, they think they were blind, and now they have opened up because of just the information that they were not taking into concern, and it has been shared with them, but they don't get people to personally tell them how it affects their life. So that is my testimony. Thank you.
A few years back, when I joined the Sacco, it was then we used to introduce it during the forums for AAK, the AGM, and I just joined casually. And for quite a number of years, I was just by the way saver. Then at one time, I decided to come for the AGM of the Sacco. And I think that's when I actually got into my feet into the cooperative, into the Sacco itself. I decided to explore what can this Sacco do for me. Until maybe about a few years back, when my firstborn joined the university, and I decided this Sacco is going to be my saving for education. I will not do it through what people do at with the insurance companies. So I decided I'm going to put in at least the entire course through the Sacco. I'm going to save it there. If I will need it, I will borrow it. If I won't need it, it will still be there. So I can self-guarantee myself anytime. Like we said, we architects, you can have a low month. So suppose you have a low month, that's a time you actually need the money. I can actually go and get it from the Sacco, pay up. I will still, since it's a loan, I will still be able to pay it back. So I'm actually not withdrawing it the same way I would withdraw it if it was in the bank. And I'm not being forced to pay it back. So I consider it as a saving that you actually saved. But it's yours, but it's actually not yours, because you're only borrowing and returning it back there. And you know you can do other things over and above that with what you have saved with the Sacco. You consider it different from the bank. At least you'll get what you've borrowed. Like Madam Esther said, you will be paid income on it. What you have borrowed, you will pay it back. So it's very different from the bank. You'll have the discipline to pay it back. When you take money out of the bank, you don't really need to pay it back. So if you come across some money and you had withdrawn money earlier to do other things, you have no discipline to take it back. At least for the Sacco, if you're disciplined enough, then you'll build yourself and your savings over time as you go along, add your financial goals that you set out to do at the Sacco. Sati.
Hi everyone. So personally, I currently am in the process of getting an asset through the Sacco, but my biggest regret is not joining the Sacco earlier. Currently in my early 30s, and I got employed in, I think, around 2019. And at that time, I didn't have much experience in terms of saving or the saving culture, or even in terms of any education in terms of money. So I would say my early 20s, even my mid 20s, were majorly chopping money. And I think if I had joined the Sacco earlier, to be honest, I would be very far. Considering that, like when you're employed and you're young and you don't have anything you're doing with the money, what will you do with the money? You'll eat it, yeah? So yeah, that's what I did. I ate the money. And right now, maybe let's say 3 years ago is when I started now being serious in savings. And I wish I did it earlier because I could see the potential I have personally in terms of saving and in terms of maybe the assets I could have acquired by then. But no regrets so far. I am happy. I'm in the process of getting something with the Sacco, and I'm happy about that. Yeah.
For me, I think two incidents. The first one, I was doing my master's. I don't know if this still happens. When we got in, I paid the initial fees, but for the rest of the program, I didn't pay my fees. So when I was finishing, for me to graduate, I needed to complete the fees. So the fees I had to pay in lump sum, and I didn't want to interfere with the monies that I held elsewhere. So I came to the Sacco and got the money, and I cleared my fees. The institution just across the road. So Sacco helped me to clear school fees. Something as simple as that. The next one is I had a patient who had a medical cover, but their treatment, I think the cover, the amount provided was exceeded, and to release the patient from hospital, I had to come to the Sacco to get a loan. So very practical things. So that now when I'm returning the money, I feel like it's that of lipa mdogo mdogo. There's no stress. Yes.
Thank you so much. And during this discussions, what I've learned is as you're using the Sacco as a financial tool, I would like Patrick, Esther, our chair and vice chair, to help us unpack. Now, the Sacco is one type of a financial tool. So how do we go about the perception of Saccos as less prestigious financial instruments, as compared to the bonds and the MMFs? So we'll start with you, Chair.
That perception, I would say, exists, and part of it is because of some of the things that happen in the industry. And most recently was the incident with Cusco, when members lose money, then the prestigiousness deteriorates. So some of those negative things that happen. The other aspect is because of the way Saccos have been lumped together with other institutions. So now we are doctors, we are lawyers, we are architects, we are QSS, We place ourselves at a certain pedestal. And then the government decides that Saccos are also, the border borders are also going to be in Saccos. The matatus are going to be in Saccos. So that connotation that we are associating with border borders, that association with matatu, that association with farmers, because that's the other areas where SACCOs are prominent, makes some of us think that SACCOs are less attractive until you realize that this bank that, sometimes when I'm walking around, I like to, certain friends, you even want to show them your bank card so that they know, okay, this guy is with Standard Chartered. This guy is with ABSA, Huyu ni member, because we think that those are more prestigious until you realize that these things are bleeding you dry on the interest rates. So when you come to the Sacco, like our Sacco, it's 1% monthly on reducing balance. From my earlier comment about lipa mdogo mdogo, sometimes when I'm repaying those loans, I actually don't feel that pinch as opposed to a few loans I've taken with the banks. Thank you.
I think the most important thing is to realize that you need a mix of investments, and the Sacco should not be at the bottom of that mix. It is not any less prestigious to be in a Sacco than to be in MMFs. I think the fact that you can actually use the Sacco to grow the amount of, the multiply in terms of the loan that you can get. And we should realize that if you're in a Sacco, the best asset that you can actually get from that Sacco is by borrowing from it. By borrowing, because the whole essence of the Sacco is to make sure that you can actually borrow and grow. If you don't do that, then you'll be losing out to those people who are borrowing. They're actually going to be borrowing your money. So make sure that you use the Sacco. Because the Sacco, first of all, on top of having lower interest than your bank, they are easier to access. If I apply for a loan today, in a day, you will have your loan disbursed. That will probably not be enough time to even do the paperwork to take to the bank. So you have a common friend in the Sacco when you want to borrow. It will get you out of, we've been given examples here of that mess very quickly. And that is actually the true sense of the cooperative or the cooperation that you need to exploit. So when you become a member of the Sacco, the best thing, please be a member of these forums, know your fellow members, create relationships so that you can get guaranteeship, and make sure that you borrow from your Sacco. Do not treat it as your bottom of the pile investment. It should be actually among the top.
Thank you so much. Mine, I will look at it in two ways. One is the information that members have about your Sacco or the Sacco. There's a lot of, sometimes you find when bad news comes about Saccos, they trend very fast, and members think that every Sacco is in crisis. And so to mitigate that, you need to be very transparent and open to communication with your members, so that before even the negative news flares to distract your members, you have already created a communication. You are aware, you tell them, we can see what is happening here. Our Sacco, we create confidence. We are like this, and this is the position. So that is very important, because there is a lot of anxiety. On the other front is you also educate your members to know the levels of risks in terms of investment. For example, you've noted in the trends trending news about investments. People are from MMF and saying money market fund is very good. And they are even comparing the percentages they are giving out there. Of course, money market is good, but there is it's a high level risk investment. When you look at those investment experts, they will tell you that Sacco is mid-level risk investment, and there's low-level investment depending on the duration of investment that you are investing your money, and also the kind of regulation that involve that kind of platform you're investing your money. So the other thing you need to make sure that you create confidence with is the service delivery. They say when you want to open an hotel, 3 things matter to a customer. One is the quality of service, the food, and the environment. So in the Sacco, what we also see in our members is that, first of all, the service. How is it? How is the TAT? How is the member confident that if they hear the word LSK Sacco, do they see it as a waiting a Sacco where the member has to wait for a line for a queue to get a loan? Do they see it as a Sacco whereby they make calls and they stay on the line and nobody's responding? Or do they see it as a Sacco where if they have an issue, it is done very fast? There are processes, they can even access the same information through technology. So those are the kind of issues that are affecting Saccos currently, because like the issue of technology is really quite a stress to a lot of Saccos, because where banks are doing very well and they're looking very colorful is the issue of technology. They want to provide a service 1 second. Technology is expensive to invest. Saccos, we don't have that muscle, but we are doing our best to adopt. Undertaking EDRMS in electronic data management services, those are very important for us to be able to satisfy our customers, because the need for efficiency, it's growing every day. People are saying TAT of 1 day is good. Now the Gen Zs or the young coming members, they want even within a second. So maybe as we grow, they won't even, as they blink, they get the result. So we have to work faster with their needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As professionals, we have a standard to keep. Let me say, from the perspective of the doctor that I've handled for the longest, they normally have a standard and perception they keep as individuals. Most of the time, they look at Saccos is for the poor people. Why should I go to the Sacco, get stressed to look for guarantor, for example? I can just walk into the bank, I get my money within a minute and I'm gone. This notion is something that you need to always educate your members. Educate your members that a Sacco is not for the poor. It's a solution solving for each and every member. Practical example, I can give a practical example. One of my highest savers is, by the way, is an architect. This architect is a member by association from a principal member who is a doctor. The thing I like about this couple is, one, as couples, they have a specific goal. And their specific goal is directed to a specific investment. All of them, they have huge amount of savings, in that in case they want a loan of 40 million right now, 60 million, the highest loaning that I can give right now is 62 million based on regulation for an individual member. All of them actually qualify for that. And they can actually co-guarantee each other. You see, if they want to open a specific investment, like a hospital, for example, will they really go to the bank to ask for that 60 million? They will not go to the bank. And if they come today and ask for the 60 million, believe you me, in less than 7 days, less than 7 days, they will have that 60 million in their account. And they'll be able to actually fulfill their financial need. And in terms of actually payment, they return the money very quickly. You get? Because I know you professionals, as others have said, you have high levels. There are times you get a lot of money, and there are times you don't get a lot of money. When you get a lot of money, consider investing or reducing your liability. When you reduce your liability quickly, you're able to ensure that that next money that comes in is actually invested. It doesn't go to a liability. When you take a loan in the Sacco, since the interest is charged on a daily basis, if I take a loan of 20 million today and I have the 20 million tomorrow, I'll only be charged interest for 1 day. When you go to the bank and then you're given that 20 million, the next day you want to clear it, believe me, you'll clear it with an additional interest of almost 6 months. Have instances whereby I'm buying loans from the bank with the recent one, just buying it from ABSA, for example. Why am I buying these loans back from the bank? Because when you're taking the loan from the bank, you're trying to pay it quickly so that it reduces. It doesn't reduce. And you get frustrated. What am I going to do? But when you take a loan in the Sacco and you pay it quickly, you'll see the benefits of reduced interest. Consider taking the Sacco as your financial option for taking a facility. You'll definitely get the benefits that you'll never regret in your life.
Thank you so much, Madam Esther. I'll pose the next question to our President, Patience. And so women in real estate and design, they often face higher collateral demands and cash flow gaps, especially when maternity comes in or when you're starting your farm, which is also another challenge. So from Wire's perspective, what are the top 3 ways that women in your organization have utilized SACCOs or are planning to utilize SACCOs to address some of these challenges? Thank you.
I would not give their personal experiences, but I can just speak generally. Just from what has been said here, a Sacco is a very good place to build a network. I'd just like to say something small on the previous question also with regards to what you've asked me. The issue of prestige. There's no prestige in money. If you can get it when you need it, I think that's just all that matters. And that should be key in deciding how to save with the Sacco and with invest your money elsewhere. Because now, in terms of when you need to access it, you can get it. So you build your networks. You can do it through the meetings here that you've said, but you can also join a Sacco with friends or family. So you know you're in that Sacco to help each other grow. I do know a family that works like that. And through that, they have each managed to get property. So even as women, you can come together and each be in the same Sacco, and when you need that money, you guarantee each other. But you also have to be disciplined so that you pay back on time, and if someone else also needs a loan, you can come through for each other. Another way is also to explore the different products that they have to offer. So, for example, if you are going to have a baby, you have 9 months to plan for that. So you can decide when you want to take the money and plan for it. For those who are in the process of trying to get pregnant, you don't have a cover, take a loan from the Sacco, get a cover, so that by the time you are getting there, you have that cover that will help you get through the pregnancy. It'll cater for a lot of things. Hospital, if you have to do the C-section, it'll cater for all those things. If not, take the cover early enough, do the 9 months, and in that 9 months, the loan that you've taken, you've already started preparing for the things that you want to do. in preparation of the baby coming. And there's a lot. It's not just about buying things for the baby. There are jobs that don't pay maternity leave. So you also have to consider that you'll still need you still need some income to keep you going for that 1 to 3 months that you decide to go on maternity leave. So you can also plan for that. Another way you can work on getting the Sacco is when you take, as I've explained, when you take your need, let's say now business, when you take your business plan or whatever your business need is in that moment, the Sacco will help you to plan the finances for that. So one thing that Saccos are fair on bias. They are not biased. Most financial institutions have a silent bias. They don't tell it to you, but women are ranked higher risk individuals compared to men. So if a financial institution that's not a Sacco is giving you money, the men are likely to be given up to about, I guess, 2-3 times more than the lady will be given. Because when it comes to the ladies, the risks that are attached to you include your marital status. Even if you've given property as collateral, should anything happen to your husband, you can easily lose that property compared to him because of how our family laws are. Not laws. Our traditional laws, yes, and structures are. So our laws do protect us. But I think you've seen so many women running to court to fight for inheritance, to fight for their rights. So the banks have already calculated that should anything go wrong, she's likely to lose more than the man is likely to. But for the Sacco, it doesn't matter, man or woman, the terms and conditions are the same. As long as you have the money there, you have your guarantors there, they'll help you work on a product that will give you the money that you need, either to grow your business or whatever other issue that you want to work on. I think maybe when it comes to women, it's good to always understand what traditional laws have always affected women and finance. As much as we have the legal structures that actually are very fair, in Africa, Kenya has some of the best laws when it comes to gender equality on various issues. But when it comes to implementation, the frameworks, most of them are weak. And now that's where, in the finance sector, the Saccos beat the other finance organizations.
Thank you so much. And now I'll pose the next question to Diana. So as an interior designer at White Sky, you mentioned earlier that you're planning to acquire an asset through the Sacco. Can you walk us through the process? And also in your professional experience as an interior designer, is there a moment where the Sacco has come to rescue, or a moment you've considered you wished you had saved with the Sacco?
So personally, because I'm considering to get something with the Sacco, okay, initially, what I used to do is after getting paid, after getting monies, they used to stay in the bank. Nothing is being touched. I'm just using whatever I need to use, and the rest of the money is in the bank. Until maybe probably like 3 years ago, I thought about it and I was like, no, this doesn't make sense. Because ideally, when you have money in the bank, it's not growing. And even if ideally, it's just basically growing the bank, not you. So I thought about it, I thought it through, and I I joined the Sacco. After joining the Sacco, I set apart like some monies every month for savings. It was the minimum I could do, yeah, the bare minimum. But you see, I also had money still in the bank. Then later, I was talking to my parents regarding getting something. And then she was like, but you are still part of the Sacco. Why not get it to the Sacco? Because now I don't have maybe like the background information about a Sacco, I was now like getting now information. And I considered now moving my money from the bank, all of it, to the Sacco. I'm sure I would, if I had done it earlier, to be honest, I would have managed to get whatever it is that I want to get, or I would have grown my monies much, much more, and I would even be able to guarantee myself. So for the young person who has not joined or who is maybe 50-50 about it, my best advice to you would be just start. Especially if you're in the built environment. You see, as an interior designer, yes, I'm employed right now, but I also get side gigs. And you see, with side gigs, they give you like a lump sum of money. And if you are not aware that you can easily save this money to the Sacco, then you will end up using the money to do other things that are not beneficial in regards to growing your career. I'll give you a case in point. So this year I had a project that gave me some monies, and I thought it through, and I was thinking if I could get if I could buy something with this money and just get over and done with. But see, if you save with the Sacco and you have like maybe let's say a 2-year payment period or 3-year, you still have your money at the end of the 3 years, and you still have the thing that you want. So yeah, for me that was making much more sense, and that's why I considered now being part of the Sacco. Okay, the second question was about sorry, the second question was about? The second question? Yeah.
So your asset, and then now as an interior designer in your professional practice, is there a moment that has occurred where you wanted
to? So I'll tell you something. So recently when I was doing a project, we had a very big mess up at site, very big one. So what happened was the boards that were used to do the wardrobe came out wrong to what we had already approved. You see, the client has already been told you're using a specific board, and this specific board is the one which is going to site. So when you get to site, we find out the board is wrong. See, it doesn't matter whose fault it is at this moment, because we need to get to figure out how we're gonna fix the situation. And at that point, I was like, maybe if I had some place where I can get monies as fast, I would easily fix the situation. I considered it, but the good thing is we were able to manage it. But yeah, it was something that I highly considered. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The next question is to Patrick on LSK. So LSK has a famous plot fund, right? Where you pool member savings to buy prime plot of land jointly. So can you take us through how, or would a similar site acquisition fund per se, or a joint venture guarantee facility work for architects, engineers, or built environment professionals in general? Can we borrow such a scheme whereby we, as the built environment professionals, can use that to bid for maybe county housing or PPP projects?
Thank you so much. LSK Sacco owns LSK Housing. So LSK Housing, by virtue of being owned by LSK Sacco, is also a member of LSK Sacco as a corporate member. So what we have managed to do, LSK Sacco Housing is fairly young, conceptualized around 2011, but we are on our 6th project. We have, our projects basically have been traditionally getting land and fragmenting the land and selling to our members at a cheaper price. And also making some margin so that we appreciate the members who have given us the share capital to be able to undertake the project. So far, we have not been able to source for funds to do an external project whereby we invest kind of. But we have a project that it's currently undergoing at Diani, that is Kwale, where the concept is build houses for investors who are not necessarily members. And it has been uptaken around 80%. And we have also involved various professionals to come, and even your own profession to come and help us design. And we think that is the way to go, because we have had proposals by members who have come up together and they want some support. But we do it in a different way in LSK Sacco. So the concept of LSK Sacco, when it comes to such an idea, we have members who are partners, say in a law firm, they are partners, main partner and the associates, and they have a project to build a law firm. So we take them through the how to assess funding through LSK Sacco. We empower them we ask them to save with a target of each member raising, say, 1 million, and we advance loans to them, having assessed them individually on their capacity to pay. So maybe member X can get maybe 3 million, the other one can give 2 million, and the project is only like 8 million. So we sit down with the law firm and we tell them, now you want to build your own law firm, or you want to purchase an office jointly, and this is how we can fund you. So we walk them through the idea, and that's the kind of now support we give, so that they do it themselves, but we finance them individually. So the individual responsibility of the loan is for that particular member. But making it easy for them, it requires a lot of discussions, and they agree on how, they have already agreed because they have a partnership. But now when it comes to saving discipline, we also make sure we remind them, you have a target, you said you take a loan in 6 months, can you bring something? Because we agreed you have to make a target of 1 million by the end of 6 months, so that we can give you 3 million. So that's the kind of arrangement we have, because we trying to register a product, like where entity can take a loan from us through their registration certificate or through their membership as a corporate member. But we realized there was a lot of risks, because partnerships were breaking every time. So we didn't want to transfer the risk to us. So we still retain the same idea they have of buying the property as a partnership, but in terms of assessing funding, they assess individually.
Thank you. Now to Madam Esther. So there is a general aversion to guaranteeship within the Sacco. And so we'd like to learn from you, how has KMA handled it, in terms of how have you encouraged your members to guarantee each other? And yes, essentially, just take us through some of the strategies you've employed.
Guaranteeship has evolved in KMA Sacco. Initially, we were not so keen on how many people you guarantee or how much you guarantee. However, there is a point in time whereby the board made a decision that let's do shilling to shilling guaranteeship. Shilling to shilling guaranteeship means if you have 1 million, you guarantee to a maximum of 1 million, not anything excess of that. Then when that happened, we experienced a challenge whereby people were not able to now get loans, because if I have 1 million and I take a loan, I'm guaranteeing myself. I'm not able to guarantee my colleague, for example. This is, a Sacco is a movement where you co-guarantee each other. So we made a decision whereby our guarantorship is 2 times your savings. 1 time for self, the other time for others. Let's say if you have 1 million, you can guarantee yourself 1 million at the time of taking a loan. If your colleague is taking a loan, you can guarantee the same million, but you cannot guarantee yourself 2 million. Through that, members are able to assist each other. What we also encourage our membership is have a clique of friends. You know, when you have friends that you know each other, Like personally, I'll be free to guarantee, let's say 1 or 2 people that I know them very well. I even know where they come from. I know their home. The reason why I will be comfortable to do that, guarantorship, you're taking liability for any mistake that person will do. There are, in this movement and in any financial sector, not everybody is genuine. There are people who intentionally will come to take a loan specifically not to pay. That's the nature of individuals. They will come actually take that loan specifically not to pay. And even if they give you that collateral, they will be in court fighting you one after the other so that you're not able to take that collateral. Realization of a loan when it's in default, it's actually tedious and burdensome to the institution, and it's also costly. So when you're building a relationship, have friends that you can relate with. This is a circle movement. You can have various friends, like 10 of you. And also, when a member comes to me and is unable to actually get guarantorship, this happens because you see, as professionals, you know each other. But we have this member who's not a professional and is also a member. I have a member who's not a professional and is a high-profile member, but he's still a member. And this member has good savings. You see, I will go an extra mile to actually assist this member to actually get guarantor. And I've been able to assist that member. Right now, this member is processing almost 40-something million. And you see, within a very short duration of time, I will pay this member. I would have actually achieved, because it's a co-guarantorship, when I'll actually connect this member, I'll connect this member with somebody that I'm well known to. You see, there are people I know very well. This person is good, and this person, the risk of default is very less. I'll actually take that liability for actually connecting this. And through that process, we are able to meet the need of the member. So as an institution, the best thing is analyze yourself as an institution. Have these policies in place, in your credit policy, in all the other policies. Have structured ways in which you align policies so that they're in line with the law. Because when you don't put these things in policy, you'll find yourself in court. I've stood in court trying to recover some money, for example. The money was not paid to me. It was paid to somebody who was defaulted. But I'm in court trying to recover this money. And you find asking several questions. And you see, lawyers are very funny. They'll ask you just one question that will put you off. You get me? So when these things are actually placed on policy, that actually assists you through this other process. The other thing, when you're taking a loan, for example, be very cautious on the interest, that you're taking with. For example, if you're purchasing an asset, you see, if you want to buy a car, there are 2 ways. You can choose to take an asset financing. Asset financing, for example, it's very expensive loan because it has a higher interest rate. You can choose to save money, then you take a development loan 3 times your saving. You're saving on the interest factor. All these 2 things will enable you achieve the goal that you have. So as a finance person, normally when you approach me, I will guide you through the steps of what you need. And if I'm able to assist you to get a guarantor, I will assist you through that process. But however, I prefer that you actually talk to the guarantor, because the liability still state. You will not come back to Esther and tell Esther, this guarantor was given to me by you. You signed the guarantorship. It's not me, for example. So you need to speak to that person so that you understand, despite the fact I'm connecting you to ABC, at least you know them and you've spoken to them. And also, our system, we've set up our system in such a manner that if I put a loan in the system and you've guaranteed, you're going to get a notification and you're going to respond to the notification. So that if I find myself in court and then you start telling me that you didn't receive notification, for example, you got an email, and that email is evidence in court enough that you guaranteed this member, and this is your signature. You'll not say that it's Esther who actually connected you.
Thank you so much, Esther. Now I'll pose this question to our WIRE president and Diana. So as women in the built environment and as AAK Sacco members, just give us like one instance which you think us as AAK Sacco can help push women further towards saving and towards investing and being Sacco members in general. What have you done and which you wish other women will do today? Yes, Diana. Then you can go to Patience.
So a way in which women can be able to grow, I would say, you know, women, we are very good with keeping girlfriends, keeping groups of friends. And I think for me personally, what I will do is actually introducing my friends who are in the built environment into the circle. I have a couple of them, but they're not part of it. But it's something I could do. And you see with what Patience has mentioned is that for women, we are at a higher risk, yeah? So if we do it as a group, I think we'd go further. And then another thing as women is because we are at higher risk, and then for us, we have those breaks maybe for childbirth, etc. The circle would really come through if at all you have good savings and you need a loan, and maybe probably you need to still continue doing something in as much as you have taken the break. Maybe probably you're not getting paid monthly, or maybe you've taken maybe a year's break, but you're still continuing in terms of design. So you'll still have the monies to support your projects for your clients, for yourself, etc.
Thank you, Patience.
I think the way we can have more women join the circles is just through advocacy. So one of the things I had mentioned is the circles don't have gender bias. So that's, I think, a strong marketing point. What the man can get, you can get, and you don't have to struggle or prove anything to get. I think it's also good to explain the risk factor. I think banks also have high risk. They're just very good at managing internally. So you'll always hear scandals, but they don't get blown up because of how they manage their PR. So I think that's a reality. Like, people need to know that. There's no investment that is 100% safe. Even when we say low risk, medium, high, even with low, you can lose all your money. If that's the day when things were meant to go wrong, they'll go wrong. So I think it's also good to explain what exactly these risks are, because fraud happens everywhere, and what the circles are doing to mitigate those risks. It's also good to explain the charges, because, you know, we assume everyone knows that the interest rates are lower, but not everyone understands how circles work. So I think it's important to have these education moments with women, WIRE members and other women. One of the things that has shown, that has proved to help women grow in whatever businesses they're trying to do is support. The support they get from an organization. That will keep them loyal. They will stick to that organization and they will grow with that organization. So also the support, I think, like what Esther has been talking about, is very important. If it's readily available, ready to explain the products, understand the situation, how can we tailor make something to suit the needs? How can we work on this loan such that we reduce the burden that it's giving to you in the moment? Such support is very important for women to feel safe and to feel like they can rely on the circle for their investment. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll pose the next question to our chair. which is, it's the last question. So, okay, second last. Why are we the Built Environment Sacco? For those of us who are mostly new today and who would like to join.
I'll try my best. Well, from the records, AAK Sacco was registered in 1993. So when I compare with the lawyers and the KMA, the 87, around, it seems like it's something that was happening around the same time. The Sacco operated for some time and then went dormant. I don't know exact year when it went dormant, but we've spent a lot of time looking for those records, and we were able to trace some records. But the Sacco rebound around the year 2009. The AAK Governing Council passed a resolution to revive the Sacco again. So from that time, the Sacco has been growing. I think, did I hear that the lawyers also revived theirs in 2006? The only thing I wish to mention is that the Lawyers Sacco has grown much more than the AAK Sacco. Maybe we need to ask ourselves certain questions why we are not growing in tandem with our peers. Because really, our Sacco, we don't depend on checkoff. LSK Sacco don't depend on checkoff. KMA don't depend on checkoff. We have a lot of similarities. But the Sacco has been growing consistently. From the time the Sacco was revived, I think it has been managed professionally. And the Sacco at the moment is very lucky to have a staff member who is very, which is the right word, professional, and will attend to the members' issues almost with the same passion that I'm hearing Esther talking about. So the Sacco is roaring to take off. The Sacco is waiting for the membership to embrace it and make it vibrant, so that we start throwing around some of the figures that Esther is throwing around, very attractive figures, very, very nice figures. You know, Esther, I heard you talking about extending a loan of 62 million. And I think I almost want to fill that form now. Did I hear you saying that the LSK Sacco is encouraging the members to save so that they can set up their practices? At AAK Sacco, we've been waiting, the young professionals. In fact, we've been waiting to assist many of us to set up. We have a product for CPDs, which many of us may look at and say is small money. But if I remember my days when I was a graduate architect, well, sitting those exams, sometimes you really have to save. So I think we have tried to respond to many of the situations that we find ourselves in, because we work the same, we do the same, we do the PJs, we attend to the same sites. We understand the environment in a sense. So we are just waiting for members to take up the challenge, so that the question that was being asked here about prestige, many of us in our training, I think our egos were built to a level so that when we land in the real world, sometimes it becomes difficult to adjust. There is no problem, even if our egos are up there, We just need to make our Sacco to be that Sacco, that prestigious Sacco that all of us will be proud to identify with. So that, when I'm flashing my bank card, maybe it should be the AAK Sacco card, not the ABSA card, maybe when I'm saying where I got my financing from, because we discussed those things, maybe, yeah, it should be the Sacco that financed my construction site. We are looking forward to that time when we can become part and parcel of financing construction. In fact, this idea that is out here, where government is levying us to build, we thought that it would have been us saving, so that from those savings we can finance construction at a cheaper rate. But be it as it may, that is going on elsewhere. So it's really for us as a membership to take up the challenge and patronize the Sacco. I don't know if that.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So now I'd like our Vice Chair to give his last remark, maybe in a minute or so, or half a minute if he can. So what is one step that you'd want someone to take before we are just about to have our Mbuzi just right now? So what is that one step you'd want someone to take as they eat their Mbuzi? What do you want them to think about, or that action they should do?
I would want to ask the members to think about putting your Sacco savings first online. Do not do it after all your spending. You're told to save. You save before you spend. You don't save what you have, the leftovers. Make sure that you put the Sacco first if you want to have that growth. We don't have a check-off system for our members, so that's a challenge that you should throw to yourself. You need to check yourself off first. From that PJ that comes in next month, the Fino that comes in next month, make sure you check yourself off into the Sacco before you do your spending.
Thank you. So one word from each of you as we break for our Mbuzi. One word, Vice Chair, then you can just pass there. One word.
Asanteni sana. I think we welcome all of you, those ones who are not members of AAK Sacco, to join. Those ones who are dormant, we ask you to be active. Those ones who are active, we ask you to be extra active.
Thank you. One word, please.
Mine is to thank you so much for inviting us to share experiences with you. We have also learned a lot about your site, and we hope to keep on collaborating. And for the members, the Sacco is a golden opportunity. And what I tell members that they will say, they tell me they will start tomorrow, I tell them it's now. I actually go with the forms, direct debit, starting on us. M-Pesa payment, namwambia ni saa hii, weka kitu, na atafilo peni hiyo pesa. Asanteni.
Thank you so much for inviting us. We've learned a lot from you, and hope you've also learned one or two things from us. In finance, it's a balance of investing, enjoying. Don't enjoy all your money, invest some. Choose the Sacco as your Sacco for investing, so that you're able to grow yourself and you're able to grow your assets. That will enable you have a stable life in future. Women, I know we are good savers. When I check the risk factor in my Sacco, women are less risky than the men. And the bad age for default is normally at 41, 42. So if you are a younger person, start investing early. You will benefit in future.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll just say for women, join Saccos. There is no gender bias. You can grow your network there. invest together, guarantee each other. And the SACCOs are also a good networking place, because unlike most clubs that seem to cater to a certain class of members, for example, some of them tend to be a premium account club, let's say in the banks. The Sacco events, as you can see here, are open to all. So there's a lot of potential for networking, for growth. It's up to you to use the opportunity presented to you in the most efficient way.
Thank you. We'll have Dana.
Personally, I would encourage everyone who's young and is not part of the Sacco to be part of the Sacco, but majorly would also want to pose a challenge to Sacco, our Sacco. You see, we don't have a lot of interior designers in the Sacco. You would finger count them. So my challenge would be try as much as you can to kumuze sera.
Yes. Thank you, Dana.
Now, there's a portion of the question that I didn't answer. Maybe that will be my last word. Why are we the Built Environment Sacco? AAK Sacco is established as an affiliate of AAK, our association, Architectural Association of Kenya. And if you look at the association, we have 8 chapters right there. Those 8 chapters literally cover everybody in the built environment. So everybody in the built environment is accommodated in our Sacco, from architects, quantity surveyors, interior designers, landscape architects, construction managers. Did I say engineers? And engineers, I'm told there is a whole litany of engineering professions. Okay? So anybody in the built environment, and recently the governing council of AAK allowed us to recruit even from beyond the built environment. So the Sacco is really for everybody. The employees in your offices, your relatives, your wife and children, your friends who may not be architects, but you are tight with them and you can guarantee each other for loans. So the Sacco is virtually, it can accommodate all of us. That's why Daniel is always saying it's a Sacco for the built environment. Thank you.